She asked me to film her birthday gift opening with her friends, and I agreed. Thought it'd be fun, nothing unusual. But when she got the present I had given her, she opened the box, peered inside, and said, "Seriously, this is it?" Then she laughed and added, "I didn't expect much, but this is actually pathetic." One of her friends snorted and said, "Well, at least he made an attempt, kind of." That's when I'd had enough. I just pointed to the door and said, "Get out of my house." A week later, she showed up at my door, asking, begging, to talk. But before I get to what happened next, I want to say thanks for reading this. It's been a wild month, and even though sharing it with strangers online might seem odd, I need to let out somewhere. I promise this all happened. I wish it hadn't. So I'm 32. I've been dating Selena, who's 29, for around 8 months. We met through mutual friends at a local art event and hit it off right away. She was everything I found magnetic, sharp, creative, driven. She worked in marketing at a local startup, and I run my own woodworking business. Things felt good between us. We spent weekends together, knew each other's social circles, and it all seemed to be moving steadily past a new stage into something real. Her birthday was coming up, and she asked to have a small celebration at my place, just 5 of her closest friends. It made sense. My place has more room than her apartment, plus a nice backyard with a fire pit. I didn't mind hosting. I even enjoyed putting things together. I spent the day cleaning, setting up lights outside, prepping drinks and snacks. I wanted everything to go well. For her gift, I chose something personal instead of expensive. She had mentioned a few times that she wished she had a better way to keep her jewelry organized while traveling. Her necklaces always got tangled, earrings went missing, and it frustrated her. So I made her a custom travel jewelry box. It wasn't flashy, but it was made from reclaimed wood salvage from her favorite local brewery after they remodeled. I'd done work there and saved some materials for a special project like this. The box had her initials inlaid in a contrasting wood, compartments tailored for her jewelry, and even a hidden drawer with a unique locking mechanism, one that opened only if you press certain points in the right sequence. It took me 3 weeks to design and build. That evening, her friends arrived around 7. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. Music was going, drinks were flowing, and the vibe was relaxed. When it was time to open presents, Selena asked me to record her opening each one. She said she might want clips for her Instagram later. I didn't think much of it. I just hit record and followed her around. The other gifts were standard stuff. Pricey candles, a designer scarf, some nice gift cards, a bottle of high-end tequila. She acted overjoyed at each one, exaggerating her gratitude for camera. Then she got to my gift. The box looked simple on the outside, natural wood, and a neat bow. She picked it up, noticed the weight, and opened it. The look she gave, it wasn't disappointment. It was like she was repulsed. "This is it," she said, holding it like it was garbage. I kept recording, totally stunned. Then she laughed and said, "I had low expectations, but this is actually pathetic." Megan, one of her friends, let out a laugh and said, "At least he tried, kind of." Another friend seemed uncomfortable and tried to save face with, "Well, it looks handmade, that's sweet." Selena rolled her eyes and said, "Yeah, I guess it's the thought that counts. Not that much thought went into this." Then she set it aside and reached for the tequila, saying, "Now this is more like it. Who wants a shot?" I stopped recording. I'd just been standing there, stunned and silent, holding my phone while the woman I cared about and her friends ridiculed something I had put a lot of myself into. I walked over, took the jewelry box from the table, slid it back into its gift bag, and calmly said, "Get out of my house." Selena blinked at me like I just started speaking in a foreign language. "Wait, what? You're serious?" I didn't raise my voice. I just said, "I'm not joking. All of you, leave now." The energy shifted. Her friends quickly started gathering their purses and coats, clearly uncomfortable. Selena stayed put, confused and irritated. "You're actually kicking everyone out because you can't take a joke?" I told her it wasn't about the box. It was about what it meant. It took me 3 weeks to make. The wood came from Harper's Brewery, your favorite place. I designed it for your travel needs. It has your initials, a hidden compartment. You didn't even look at it, before trashing it in front of your friends. Her expression changed. It wasn't guilt at first, more like she finally realized she crossed a line. I added, leave the gifts. They were open here. They stay here. That includes the tequila. That got her attention. You can't keep our stuff. I said, watch me. You have 60 seconds before I call the police and report trespassers. They left. I shut the door, locked it, turned off my phone, and sat down in a silent mess of half-eaten food, birthday balloons, and discarded wrapping paper. The next morning, I had 37 missed calls, over a dozen texts and voicemails where she switched between apologizing and blaming me for overreacting. I didn't answer any of them. It wasn't just a gift. It was what it revealed. How casually cruel she could be. How her friends joined in like it was routine. How she did it all while filming. For show. For likes probably. I spent that weekend clearing everything out and thinking things through. By Monday, I had my answer. I texted her, we're done. I'll pack whatever you left and set it on the porch next weekend. Then I blocked her. But that's not where it ends. Remember how I mentioned she worked at a startup? 2 months earlier, they had hired me to design and build some custom pieces for their new office. Reception desks, a conference table, and display shelving. I hadn't delivered yet, and nothing had been built. Just a deposit taken and materials ordered. What happened next? Well, let's just say they're not getting the wood from Harper's Brewery. They had hired me to design and build custom display units for their office remodel and an upcoming industry showcase. The contract was worth around $15,000. Not massive, but definitely one of my bigger projects of the year. I'd already received a 30% deposit and completed the design work, though construction hadn't started yet. The contract included a clause that either party could walk away if personal issues made the working relationship unworkable. Selena was actually the one who insisted on that clause. Say it was smart business to have an exit plan if things ever went sideways between us. On Monday morning, I sent an email to Jennifer, the actual client contact and Selena's boss. Dear Jennifer, due to irreconcilable personal differences between myself and Selena, I must terminate our contract as outlined in Section 5.2.2. I will refund the deposit in full and can recommend several skilled craftsmen who might be available to take on the job. Sincerely, Jake. She called me within the hour, understandably confused. I explained briefly. Selena and I had been involved personally, but we weren't anymore, and I no longer felt comfortable continuing the project under those circumstances. I didn't offer details, just said it was a personal matter. Jennifer seemed disappointed, but understanding. I issued the refund and let it go. I didn't hear anything for a few days, which suited me just fine. Then, 1 week after the birthday incident, Selena showed up at my door. She looked nothing like her usual polished self. Her eyes were swollen, hair unkempt. I kept the security chain on and waited. She burst into tears the moment she saw me. Jake, please, I need to talk to you. I'm so sorry about what happened on my birthday. I don't know what got into me. Just let me explain. I didn't invite her in. Instead, I asked, did Jennifer talk to you about the contract? Her face shifted instantly. Yes. You can't do this to me. That showcase is huge for our company. I brought you in. Jennifer's furious, and now my job is on the line. There was the real reason for her visit. Not remorse, not concern for me. Just a fallout hitting her where it hurt. That's unfortunate. I said evenly, but as the contract you push for clearly states, either side can walk away due to personal conflict. But we can work through this, she said quickly. It was just a stupid joke. I love the jewelry box, really. It's beautiful. You haven't even seen how much I appreciate it. You didn't seem to notice any of the details I told you about, I said. She wiped her eyes, shifting tactics. I was just surprised. I didn't know what I expected, but I'm really, truly sorry. Please reconsider the contract. If not for me, then for the team. They didn't do anything wrong. I paused. You're right. Your team shouldn't suffer because you're a terrible person. Her eyes lit up with hope. So here's the deal, I continued. I'll complete the project on one condition. Anything, she said quickly. You post a public apology. Same audience as the original insult. You were going to post clips from the party, right? Instead, you post a full, unedited video of you opening the gift and mocking it. You tag me, and in the caption, you give a genuine apology. Her face paled. I can't post that. Everyone will think I'm a horrible person. Well, I said, at least social media would finally be accurate. Jake, be reasonable. That would humiliate me. More than being mocked in my own home after spending weeks making something special for someone I cared about. She had no answer. I added, those are my terms. Post it with a real apology by midnight tonight. Then I'll let Jennifer know I've reconsidered. Otherwise, find someone else. As I started to close the door, she called out, "Wait, what about us? Can we talk about trying again?" I laughed, not cruelly, just out of genuine disbelief. There is no us, Selena. That ended the second you decided it was funny to humiliate me. This is just business now. She left, looking crushed. I honestly didn't think she'd do it. That video would shatter her social media persona, the carefully curated image of positivity and gratitude she had cultivated. But at 11:58 p.m., my phone pinged. She tagged me in an Instagram post. It was a full, unedited clip. Her mocking laughter, her friends' comments, my quiet voice trying to explain the gift's meaning. In the caption, she wrote a long, raw apology. "This is the hardest thing I've ever posted. It shows me at my absolute worst. I'm sharing it not for sympathy, but because owning our mistakes is the first step to growth." This was Jake's handmade birthday gift to me, a beautiful custom jewelry box that I completely failed to appreciate. My reaction was thoughtless and shallow. "Jake, I'm truly sorry for hurting you and not seeing the love and effort behind your work. To everyone else, let this be a reminder. Gratitude matters more than the price tag." I stared at the screen for a long time. The comments were pouring in, some shocked, others praising her honesty. A few tried to defend her. Her party friends? Silent. The next morning, I emailed Jennifer. "Dear Jennifer, after reconsideration, I've decided to proceed with the project as originally agreed. My personal feelings shouldn't interfere with our professional arrangement. Work will begin immediately and be completed by the original deadline. Best, Jake." She replied within minutes, full of thanks. She didn't mention Selena or the post, but I had the sense she'd seen it. Over the following weeks, I threw myself into the work. It was some of the best I'd ever done. I'm not the kind of guy to sabotage a job over personal issues. On installation day, I coordinated with Jennifer. Selena was nowhere to be seen. As I was packing up my tools, Jennifer finally broke the silence. "I saw the video," she said quietly. "That jewelry box was exquisite. Some people just don't know quality when they see it." I just nodded and thanked her for the business. The showcase went well. I saw the photos online. My display units were front and center, with company execs beaming in front of them. Selena was off to the side in one shot, looking like she'd rather be anywhere else. She tried reaching out a few more times, but I kept my distance. I heard she was passed over for a promotion and that some of her friends had drifted away. As for the jewelry box, I kept it. It sits on my workbench now. A reminder that some gifts shouldn't be given away, and that sometimes the most valuable thing you can build is your own self-respect. The most satisfying revenge wasn't anything I did to Selena. It was simply putting her in a position where she had to choose between her pride and her career, and then watching as she showed everyone exactly who she really was. No tricks, no games, just a mirror and the truth reflected back. Honestly, the box looks better where it is now.